Hello, everybody watching the replay. Instagram is busy telling people that I've gone live, and I'm wondering if I should add a title in here or pin a title. Let me see if I can do that, figure it out. We're going to be talking about, hi Hibba, so happy to see you. I'm just trying to pin a comment right now while people are joining. Hello, everybody joining. So the comment that I'm pinning is, I guess, essentially the title right now, which is going to be timelines and initiations. But let me get it up here. Initiations. Let me see if I can now pin my own thing. See if I can figure it out. Oh, I figured it out. There we go. Okay, so hello to everybody who's already joined. Hi, Hibba. Oh, Frazzled Mom Plans. That's a new handle. Did you change your handle? Yay, I'm here. I'm so happy to see you there. Who is that, Frazzled Mom Plans? Have we worked together? I feel like that sounds like a really familiar handle. Okay, little sip of that. So I have so much magic to share with you today, okay? Because as I had the idea that I wanted to do a live. Hi, Danny. I knew that I wanted to do a live yesterday, so I made this announcement. And then whenever I do that, the downloads are so intense. I knew it was you, Priscilla. Yes, Priscilla. Frazzled Mom Plans is a hilarious handle, by the way. That's so fun. Okay, so all of a sudden the downloads just started coming down so hot last night as I was trying to sleep. And I realized that what I really wanted to talk about today, this is a big download, but I'm going to break it down into pieces for you, and I think it's really going to be helpful. Okay, because we are going to talk about how there are different realities existing side by side right now on Earth. And when I say realities, you could totally flip that word and use the word timelines. Same idea, right? So we are going to talk about the 3D reality that is here on Earth, 3D timeline, right? And the initiation that it takes to move from the 3D into the 4D. Then we're going to talk about the 4D timeline, the reality. What would that look like if you were in fourth dimensional reality right now? Like, what would the energy be around you? What would you be experiencing? Because you're going to see either yourself or people that you know. Like, you're going to it's going to be so much easier to recognize it. And then again, what is that initiation? Going from the fourth dimension into the fifth dimension then, right? And then we're talking 5D timeline, 5D reality. Who's living there? What does that look like? What does the energy there feel like? What's coming up when you're in that space? Do you see yourself there? Do you see others there? And then there's another initiation into 6D, which we're going to talk about. So these initiations are like bridges in between realities, bridges in between timelines. They're in between 3 and 4, 4 and 5, 5 and 6. So what's another word that you could use there? Instead of initiation, you could actually look at that as like a next level of awakening, right? Like, okay, I'm in my next level of awakening, or I'm in my next level of awareness. Could be the same idea. All right. So let's start. Got enough people here now. Let's start with the 3D. Okay, so if you were in a 3D reality, I really want you to, maybe you're still there and that's totally fine. Probably not if you're even interested in what I'm talking about though. So this is probably going to be more you recognizing your friends and family there. But I still want you to really feel into this when I'm describing it. I want you to feel each one as I describe it and remember how you were there and remember what that felt like so that you can kind of really understand the people that are still there. And then I'm going to take you along on a journey today, and I just want you to feel each step, okay? So let's talk 3D, and I want you to put your feels into this. So the 3D feels. Okay, so here is me in a 3D reality. And this exists. This is 100% happening right now on this planet. This is not an illusion. This is a reality. This is a timeline. And these people, here's what they experience. They experience, okay, I live in a world where I am controlled. Everything that I do is so controlled. I am programmed from the moment that I'm born until now about things like the 9-to-5 program. My abundance doesn't come from within me. It comes from without me. So I'm always a slave to someone else's timing, to someone else's dreams, to someone else's abundance. I have to basically trade my precious time, beg for this little piece of abundance back. And then when I look at the world around me, it's dark and it's heavy And there are wars in multiple places in this world. And there is so much violence and so much political injustice. And there is so much just brutality and people just starving and living in these third world countries where they have no rights. And, I should just be grateful for the tiny little bit that I do have. And every day that I wake up, life feels like Groundhog Day. Life feels like a hamster wheel. And I get to the point where it's like, is this all there is? Is this it? Waking up every day, day after day, morning after morning, and it's so monotonous in 3D. And it's like, is this what the rest of my life is going to look like? Is this it for me? Do I literally get up and go to work every day for the next 50 years to retire when I'm old? And then hopefully have enough money saved or be in good enough health to maybe travel a bit? I mean, is that it? Is that all that there is? And in the 3D reality, that's kind of it, you guys. Like, that's it. That's the program. That is the road. It is paved. It is laid out. That is your reality. That is your life. Your parents are doing it. Your friends are doing it. That's what you need to do. And they just live for the weekend. So no wonder they drink you drink your face off on the weekend to just try to escape this like super heavy reality. Just what does that feel like? Can you just take a moment and just feel that for a moment? Because you did live there once in this reality. You might still have remnants. You might still have a couple programs you're still plugged into. A lot of people struggle with the 9 to 5. Just feel that though. Feels what does that feel like? It feels like a heavy blanket of depression. It feels hopeless. It feels pointless. And then you become apathetic, like, well, whatever, this is all there is. And you lose your zest and your passion and your excitement for life, right? So what is the initiation out of 3D? How do you get out of 3D? The initiation is that realization or that almost that desperate feeling like, wait a minute, there has to be more. There has to be more to life than this. There's got to be. And then you start like looking for it. Maybe even subconsciously, and then it starts to show up for you. That's the initiation into the 4D. And Priscilla's saying, I had the same thought when I was like 19 to 20. Then I got a midlife crisis at 25. Yes, me too. I called it my quarter life crisis though. So now we've described that. We felt that. What is that? That's such a heavy feeling. And that's where so many people live. So that initiation is the feeling of, wait a minute, there has to be more. No freaking way that this is all that there is. I don't accept that. That can't be all that there is to life. There has to be more. Okay, just that energy will bring you up into a 4D reality. Let's talk 4D. Okay, some of you may still be here. That's totally fine. This is a step you can't skip this step, okay? It's a beautiful thing to rise up from 3D. So here's what the 4D reality or timeline feels like. You might recognize yourself. You might recognize people you love here. 4D, okay. 4D is, okay, now things are starting to come up in the people that I'm talking to. This is how energy works. It just starts to rise up. It's coming up. I'm seeing it on TV. I'm seeing it on maybe documentaries, YouTube, the people that I'm talking to. Stuff's coming up on the internet about government corruption, government cover-ups. Okay, and then we get deeper and we get into real dark conspiracies like oh my God, what's it called? When the planes are spraying like toxic chemicals in the sky, chemtrails. Now we're learning about chemtrails, the costs of fluoride when you use it on your pineal gland. We start to like get into this world of like MK Ultra and the elites and the underground worlds and tunnels, and we're going down these rabbit holes. We're going really deep into rabbit holes of conspiracy, which is not theory. Conspiracy is truth. 4D is real. Just like 3D was real, 4D is real. These are very real realities because they are timelines. They are real, okay? Not just in your perspective. I'm saying they exist for real, okay? So when you move into the 4D reality and the 4D timeline, it will hit you like a ton of bricks. It is a really, really difficult phase of the spiritual awakening because you just realize that you've been lied to your entire life. And nothing is as it seems. Nothing. And everything has this shadow aspect to it. You know, corporations, pharmaceuticals, the government, the elites, financial systems. There's nothing that isn't corrupted, and you cannot believe it. You literally cannot believe your mind. You can't believe what you're seeing. You don't want to believe it. And you even go through that, like, I don't want to believe this is real. Negative, like alien influences, reptilian influences here on Earth, shadow beings coming from off-world here to control us from the shadows. Like the Illuminati, the Cabal, like no. And you keep trying to push it away and push it away and push it away. It's overwhelming. People spend a lot of time in this reality of the 4D timeline, okay? You can actually get trapped there for a really long time because there's so much to learn and there's always something new that's being dug up, okay? But it is absolutely such a crucial step in your awakening. And I know so many people that are still living in that reality on the 4D timeline of this energy. So now, like we did with the 3D, I want you to feel into that. What does it feel like? Okay, because remember, we felt into the 3D. 3D felt like a blanket of depression. Like, honestly, hopeless. What's the freaking point? Why bother? It was awful, right? Now here we are in 4D. What does it feel like? It feels like sacred rage, fire, anger. I need to do something. I need to rise up. We need to rise up together. We need to. Action. Okay? So it's got a lot more life in it than the 3D. It's not just this feeling. It's like, whoa, what's going on? What the fuck? You know, like I need to do something. People need to know. It's like a fire. It's a fire. It's like walking. It's like the Phoenix transformation. It's like walking through the fire of your own sacred rage into your next reality. Because there's something above this. So don't get stuck there. If you're still there, if you're spending time there, don't feel bad. That's an important step. I'm just going to read a comment here. Angel Whisper saying, I believe all of this I've known for a few years, journeying into dark rabbit holes. I lost my best friend 20 years ago due to my beliefs, which she found absurd. Yes, people lose friends over this. Linny saying, I went from 3D to 4D to 5D, but I'm not stable, going back and forth. That's totally normal. That is so normal. Sometimes we need to dip back into the 4D, dip a little into the 3D, and pop ourselves right back up. And all that does is actually keep you very grounded in the timelines here on Earth, and it helps the 3D timeline and the 4D timeline, because when you dip back in, you place anchors and then you rise up again. It's almost like reaching down and pulling them up, reaching down and pulling them up. So you're actually doing a service even though it's hard for you. Okay, so just know that. So what is the initiation here? Okay, because we don't want to get stuck here in 4D. What is the initiation here? Okay, because the initiation or the next level of spiritual awakening from 3 to 4 was there has to be more. And it's born from desperation. So what's the initiation here? It's similar, but it's a little different. Do you know? Let me know in the comments if you know. Because for me, the initiation here is, the next level is, we need to do something. And then that moves into, how can I help? How can I help? That's it. That's literally the energy that will move you into 5D. Okay, I know all of this. I finally accept it. I'm not turning a blind eye, right? It's not all love and light. An interesting fact here, just quickly, people that bump from 3D to 5D and skip 4D altogether, those are the people that are all like, everything is love and light, and they're not grounded at all. And they will not last in 5D. They will actually be sent back to 4D because you need it. You need the shadows of it to keep you balanced and grounded. And we're going to talk about that too. Okay, so the initiation from 4D to 5D is, how can I help? Makes sense, right? So now let's talk 5D. Hiba saying, by the way, seeing so much divine mist around me. My guides want me to know this is important. Hiba, we have so many things in common. Whenever I have spirit around me, I literally say to my husband, I see mist. Do you see that too? Or is it just me? And it's always just like this weird metaphysical mist. Anyway, okay, 5D. Now we've initiated ourselves from 4D to 5D with the how can I help. 5D feels. Feel into this now, okay? Ready? Now we're going to feel into 5D. 5D is the beginning of the understanding that you are a multidimensional being. Okay, you are multidimensional, and this gets unlocked within you. And you start to realize, like, okay, wait a minute. I'm not just a human here on earth. I'm not just the eternal soul within and the human here on earth, which is already multidimensional, but I've got all of these other lifetimes as on earth, okay, different earth lifetimes. Maybe witch wounds that come up, all these different earth lifetimes, but also lifetimes off world. That's the starseed aspect. That's it. That's this whole starseed thing. Like, have you had lifetimes off earth? Then you're a starseed, right? Are you an awakened starseed and you know what those lifetimes were? That's another level, right? Okay, so the multidimensionality is an important piece because when you see yourself in these other lifetimes, a couple of things happen. Okay, I see myself as a Pleiadian. I know I've had this Pleiadian life. So use that as an example. Okay, so now all of a sudden I realize that Pleiadians are not better than me. They're not above me. Okay, that feels good. That's bringing things into balance and realizing that I don't need to be like bowing down to the glory of these off-world beings or these galactic beings. I am just as wise. I have also been there, right? I am just as empowered. Here's how else it can help to have this multidimensionality about you. Okay, maybe you see yourself in a darker lifetime. Okay, maybe you see yourself in a reptilian lifetime or a troubled Orion lifetime or a lifetime on Maldek where you lost your planet. Or a lifetime in, Lyra, where you faced galactic wars. Like, you're gonna see yourself not just in love and light lifetimes, you're gonna see yourself in the hard times. And so now you're looking at the beings that you found out about in 4D, reptilian influences, and you're thinking, wait a minute. If I had a lifetime as a reptilian or something like that, okay, but a lot of people have actually had lifetimes as reptilians, just FYI if you're here on Earth. If I've had a lifetime like that, maybe I did some things that are pretty bad. But that doesn't feel like me because I know myself and I would never violently attack someone. I would never blow up a planet. I would never take over Earth. I would never. But maybe I did before. And maybe I've just evolved that much. Maybe I've really learned something from that place, from those darker lessons from the shadows. So now you look at these beings and you're like, well, their acts are evil, no question. But are they totally hopeless and never going to grow? Or are they just a little bit behind where I'm at? Because maybe I was there and now I'm here, so maybe I can't say they'll never get here. Here's another example. Maybe you have an Earth lifetime as a witch who was killed, and simultaneously have a lifetime as an inquisitor that killed a witch. This is way more common than you realize. Because our soul chooses to experience life on both sides of the fence of light and dark. And that is the next unlocking in 5D. Okay, so the first thing that unlocked in 5D was multidimensionality. Here's the next thing that unlocks in 5D. Oneness. And starting to understand what that might even mean. Like, okay, wait a minute. Oneness is the fact that I am seeing that I have had lifetimes where I am victimized and lifetimes where I am the perpetrator. And I'm seeing that these dark places in my self, in my soul, maybe you call it a dark night of the soul, maybe you just see it as like your shadow self, they were the catalyst for my very awakening. Many of you right now on this call with me started a spiritual awakening from a place of darkness. You hit rock bottom. Maybe like me, you had addiction problems, abuse problems, anxiety, child abuse, PTSD, addiction. That was my story. Okay? That was my shadow. That was my darkness. Those were my nightmares. That was my catalyst. You know, in case you don't know what catalyst is, that was my fuel. My fuel for my very awakening, my spiritual awakening, was fueled by the darkness within me. Because when you hit rock bottom, when you hit these dark places, there is only one place to go, and that is up. And you start to rise. Right? Linny's saying, yes, spot on. Sword of Oracle is saying, I have a lot of lifetimes on both sides of things. We all do. Okay, so oneness, do you know what microcosm and macrocosm are? So microcosm is when energy shows up in a small way. Macrocosm is when that same energy shows up in a big way. Microcosm is what I'm describing right now. Within you, your shadows were the catalyst for your spiritual awakening. Let's talk macrocosm and maybe see why 3D and 4D exist at all. So macrocosm, let's look at the shadows and the darkness and the hell here on earth. And it's so big that we probably need to zoom out, right? Like let's zoom way out because there's so much. You can't see it. You got to zoom out. And now when you have a higher perspective, you zoom out, you have this higher perspective. From that higher perspective, look at the macrocosm of what I just described. How are the shadows on earth, the darkness on earth, a catalyst? Because there's a lot of darkness, I'm not going to lie. There's so much that it's imbalanced. There's not enough light. There's not enough light. But our sacred mission was never to eradicate darkness. It was to bring back the balance. So if we look at the earth and we see all of this darkness and it's deeply rooted, so dark, so deeply rooted, okay? It goes deep to the center of the earth, literally, okay? There's a lot I could say about that. Let's leave it there. I'm sure you know. Okay. So just like a tree that is growing deep, deep, deep roots in the soil, these roots are strong. These roots are a foundation. These dark roots in the shadows are something to rise from. Why in this time on earth do we need such darkness, so many roots in the ground? Why now? I'm going to tell you why. Because we are in a 26,000 year cycle perpetually here on earth. At the very bottom is the Dark Ages. That's not where we are, don't worry. At the very bottom is the Dark Ages though. We do 12 or 13,000 years, it's a rough count, of descension into the Dark Ages. This is Gaia, this is why she's a school, this happens over and over and over again. Then she rises up 12 to 13 years of ascension into the Golden Era. If you want to transform the earth that we have now into a Golden Era, you are going to need some big catalysts. And so the 4D is really important because we're shining a light on all of the darkness and shadows. See why you can't skip 4D? You need to know it's there. You need to see the roots. You need to experience the dark night of the soul that Gaia is going through, Mother Earth. It's a giant dark night of the soul with a purge, okay? So we are shining our light on what's going on in 4D to illuminate the shadows and the darkness so that we can grow, so that humanity can evolve, so that humanity can use this as a catalyst to have an entire world awaken. An entire world needs to awaken, okay? This is an evolution of an entire species of humanity, so you better bet that the shadows need to be huge for that. The darkness, the shadows, the roots of this tree of awakening need to go so dark and so deep in order to give us that much worldwide, global scale awakening. That's oneness. So oneness is the understanding of how these shadow aspects of yourself contribute to your light, give you a foundation to rise from, give you depth, give you wisdom, give you that grit. It's no different here on earth. It's no different. Okay? So we've talked 3D initiations, 4D initiations. What's this next one then? What is the initiation then into the next level, 6D? 3D initiation, or your next level of spiritual awakening. You could use that, initiation or next level of spiritual awakening. 3D was, there has to be more. 4D was, what the fuck? We need to do something. How can I help? 5D is, how can I become this? How can I embody this oneness, this multidimensionality? How can I become the new divine human so that I can lead the evolution of humanity? Because they're all going to go through it, and we need leaders that go through it first. Lindy's saying zoom out again. Yes, absolutely. Zoom out to that higher perspective. How can I embody and become the divine human? How do I become a citizen of the new earth? Now you're in 6D. Now you're in 6D thinking. Now you're in 6D energy. As soon as you get to that place where you fully embrace multidimensionality, you fully embrace oneness, you see how the dark supports the light on the microcosm and the macrocosm. You accept yourself in the lifetimes that you find that are darker. When you're looking at all of these like galactic lives and earth lives that you've had, and you see yourself there, you don't shame yourself, you forgive yourself. You find a way through it, you grieve it. Oh my God, I can't tell you how many lifetimes I've had to grieve. How many things I've had to heal, apologize for, forgive, right? On both sides, okay? So now you arrive into this 6D reality, okay? So there are so many of us that are already there. We're already in this 6D place. What does now 6D feel like? What is this reality? What is this timeline? Because all of these realities are coexisting right now on Earth. 3, 4, 5, now 6. Kind of new. It's here. Maybe new for me. Maybe not new for everybody. New for me. Okay? So let's talk about it. So 6D feels. Feel into this now. This feels like, okay, soul retrieval. Okay, yes, I see myself in all these lifetimes, and there's so much trauma and wounds throughout all of my different lifetimes that I've lived, parallel lifetimes, maybe lifetimes that you feel are past, like you don't have any life in them anymore. How do I retrieve the shattered pieces of myself and become whole again? So soul retrievals will start to interest you. Okay, so think about that. DNA activations. These are happening all the time. Solar flares and lightning activity bring these DNA activations to Earth through the atmosphere of Earth, right? So these DNA activations are washing over the Earth all the time, but not everybody is able to receive them. If you're in 3D, the solar flares are not really doing much, to be honest. 4D, maybe a little. 5D, a lot more. 6D. Okay, now you're fully open. It's like opening up your pores of your cells to all of these solar flares, this solar activity, these CMEs, coronal mass ejections, the Schumann resonance aspect. All of that really starts to absorb. And that is divine help. It's being sent here to Earth, and the ones that are ready can absorb that. And these DNA activations activate your gifts, your soul gifts. And it's so powerful. You have soul gifts. It's like people are like blown away by that still. And it's true. It's like magic, finding magic within yourself that you didn't know was there because it was dormant all this time. And Starshine is saying, be consistent, accountable, and humble. Yes, that's beautiful energy. It's very grounded energy. So these soul gifts, well, where did they come from? They were always within you. You literally brought them here to Earth inside your soul. They were just sleeping. They were just dormant. They were just waiting for you to activate them. And when your soul gifts get activated, then the next initiation, I guess I would say, the initiation into like your absolute highest timeline is, wow, how can I use these soul gifts to be of service? And that's the highest initiation that there is. It's so powerful. It's so beautiful. Using that initiation, using your soul gifts in service, in service to the light, in service to humanity, in service to Gaia, but in service in some way. Using your soul gifts in service is the doorway to your highest timeline. And your highest timeline is where all the love, all the abundance, all the freedom, all the good is right there for you. That's the doorway to it. But you have to go through these initiations. And you can't rush because there's so many deep realizations in each one, right? So maybe you see yourself in one of these ones that I've described for you. But I know that there are people that are going to watch this here live and in the replay that are in the 5D and in the 6D, and they are ready for the activation of their soul gifts. And I want to speak to them directly right now. Okay, so if you see yourself in the 5D, if you see yourself in the 6D, meaning you have this understanding of your multidimensionality, you're starting to understand how it is oneness. You're starting to see how there has got to be this balance between the light and the dark here on earth, and that's your sacred mission, to bring that balance about. You're interested in soul retrievals, DNA activations, figuring out what your soul gifts are. If that's you, I want to speak to you right now. Here's the announcement that I said I was going to make. Okay, here's the surprise. I am hosting a free, powerful masterclass. It's going to be happening on Monday, October the 3rd at 12 p.m. Eastern. This masterclass is a Psychic Foundations masterclass. And this is about learning to set for yourself the foundations for a safe and ethical practice, and always in psychic service to the light. Because your soul gifts are wrapped up in your intuition and your psychic centers. Okay? Whether you are your divine archetype and your soul gift is a teacher, a healer, a musician, light language, a coach, a mindset coach, a financial coach, a business coach, a channeler, a reader, a card reader, whatever your psychic gifts are, and that's just a few. This is what's going to take you to your next level. Okay, Psychic Foundations Masterclass to learn how to set the foundations for a safe and ethical practice, and always in psychic service to the light. Okay, so I really want to offer this up to get people started. This is the foundation that you rise from. This is it. And within this, we're going to be talking setting up the sacred space. Okay, that's the first module in this course, in this masterclass. And we're going to be setting up the sacred space through intention, high frequency energies, and true divine connection. Danny's saying, Jenny, your soul is so loving and giving. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you, Danny. Right back at you, my love. So the first thing we're going to be learning in this masterclass is setting the sacred space. You're going to set it through intention, through high frequency energies, and through divine connection. Why? So that you can feel safe to open up and know, capital know, that what you are receiving is true, divine truth, that what you are receiving is from divine origins, and that what you are receiving is divinely timed for your highest good. That's so important. It's the absolute first thing you need to do before you do anything with your soul gifts. Okay? Setting the sacred space. Okay. The second thing we're going to be learning in this masterclass, entering receiving mode. And this is where you learn how to truly receive without straining. Okay? Without getting that third eye headache, without straining or getting frustrated that nothing is happening, to teach you to truly receive so that you can become highly sensitive and aware of the signs and information that you are being sent. You are being sent signs and guidance and wisdom and info all the time from your guides, okay, and from God's source. Learning how to drop into receiving mode in a moment's notice so that when you're short on time, you can still connect in a flash. Okay, that's the second one. The third the third module that we're going to be learning inside this masterclass is listening with your whole body. So this is connecting with your body, your mind, and your senses, giving you a larger canvas to communicate with spirit. This gives you a huge canvas. If you use your whole body, all of your mind, all of your senses, there's this huge scope that they can communicate with you through, and it becomes fun, more clear, and just so much bigger. Learning how clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and claircognizance show up in the body. and recognizing what you are receiving and how to interpret it. Okay, so these are huge. So again, this is a Psychic Foundations Masterclass, learning how to set the foundations for a safe and ethical practice, always in psychic service to the light. We're going to be covering setting the sacred space, entering receiving mode, and listening with your whole body. So I want you to go to the link in my bio or DM me, Masterclass, DM me Masterclass if you want me to send you the link, or just go to the link in my bio and enroll now. Get enrolled ASAP, okay? Because we are going live with this Monday, October 3rd at 12 p.m. Eastern. And if you enroll, you'll be sent the replay. If you do not enroll, you will not be sent the replay. So this is not just going to be public and on my YouTube or here. You need to enroll. Even if you can't make that time, I will send you the replay. Okay? So, Psychic Foundations Masterclass, you guys, I'm so excited. This will probably be at least a couple hours. Okay, so carve out that time for yourself if you can on Monday the 3rd of October. If you can't make it, make sure to enroll so that you at least get the replay, because then you can just watch it at your leisure. And this is going to be so beneficial to you, to those of you in that 5D and 6D energy. Okay, so I'm super excited about this. I will be looking for your DMs. Go now to the link in my bio to sign up. Other than that, I'm going to leave this live here for now, and I will post this replay for you guys. And I hope that today really opened your eyes about timelines, initiation, psychic levels, and the soul gifts that are wanting to come through right now. And I'm really going to help you with that. Linny saying, beautiful, I will look if I can join. And even if you can't, Linny, sign up anyway so that you at least get the replay. Okay, replays are only sent to the people that register. So get that, DM me Masterclass, or get in the link in bio. Sort of Oracle saying, looks like I have to skip work on Monday. Maybe so, because this is going to be so big. Okay, I love you guys. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Linny. Thank you, everyone that commented. Sending you all my love. Talk to you all soon. Bye.